Welcome to another episode of the Mad Fantasy Football Podcast with your hosts, Begley, Goni, and Wayne.
What's up, Mad Mob? We have the Week 7 review.
Did he just do the intro with 1,000 boogers in his nose? What's up, Mad Mob?
What's up, Mad Mob?
This isn't the type of intro I wanted. Y'all good?
Man.
It's going to be one of those episodes, huh?
I think we got it out. Going
to be one of those episodes. And I guarantee you, somebody's going to say something and I'm going to snap at them and they're going to be like, oh, what are you so upset for? What's your problem? It's because they started it. Oh, now Goni's got to go back to nice guy mode. Glad you all got a glimpse.
Man.
Gentlemen, some things. Breece Hall out for the year. Sucks. Because he was doing stellar.
Yeah, he looked phenomenal.
James Robinson traded. ETN owners, rejoice.
Crazy happenings.
CMC getting a little bit of work in there. I don't know. I liked what I saw, however limited it was.
Yeah, did you hear that he asked for the playbook on the plane ride to San Fran so he can get on the field?
Yep, that's the type of dude that you want. The anti-Kyler Murray.
Man.
Boys, I think he's going to be good.
Yeah, he's going to be amazing.
Great with them. Shanahan is an awesome coach. At first, I was a little skeptical, but Shanahan has proven he's amazing. He's just a phenomenal coach, and so now you have a talent like CMC. He just needs to not get hurt.
Those injury-prone guys haven't been getting hurt. Saquon's still out there 7 weeks through. CMC's still out there 7 weeks through.
Yep.
Keenan Allen, wow. Mike Evans still counts. He had a suspension.
Yeah. Hammies are holding up for now.
Yeah. We're probably jinxing them, but I guess we'll find out. Week 7 preview, just going with the Wayne's winners, Goni's grabs, and the TrashBegs. Let y'all in on the doings of Week 7. The slate of games was pretty boring, but it wasn't too boring. It didn't play out in such a boring way.
I still feel like the majority of fantasy leagues were kind of low scoring this week, right? I mean, not for our team, our championship caliber, going for back-to-back championship dubs. Team dropped 147 this week, so we didn't have that. But in other leagues, I'd seen that the scoring was pretty low.
Yeah, I mean, we're amazing. But
it's not that great of a team. It's okay.
Number one
Eckler
so far.
Eckler and Chase just hard carrying.
Josh Allen, Jalen Waddle, Amon-Ra.
Amon-Ra? Was he a hard carry?
I mean, it's a season. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So I think he scored more points than almost any of your wide receivers.
Amon-Ra?
Is that fair? Yeah, is that fair?
Facts.
I don't think he's outscored Sedarius Lamb this year, has he? Or A.J. Brown? Wide receiver 9 and 12? Maybe?
I don't know. Maybe or factually?
I think you may want to hit the old ledger, get the old pen and pad out for this one.
Fair enough. What am I hitting the ledger for?
To see how many fantasy points Amon-Ra scored.
Oh, I thought we were having a doink bet.
What is he this year? Wide receiver what?
I mean, he missed the last 2 weeks. He's wide receiver 28 right now.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, so hasn't scored more than a lot of my receivers.
Goni, let me cut him off here. I absolutely have got 2 cannonballs between my legs right now, just dangling, ready to come in, like suspended from a crane, just ready to knock down the skyscraper that is Begley's forehead.
A couple of Miley Cyruses down there, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
Doink bet made this week. Easiest doink bet I've ever made. Layup. Absolute layup. Drake London. Begley took Drake London to outscore George Pickens. I obviously took George Pickens. I couldn't take it fast enough. And after it was taken, Begley, I feel good about this one. I feel good. I feel great about this one. Because Begley gets like a love for certain players, and then you can exploit it for all the doinks in the world. Drake London scoring a phenomenal 1.9 points this week. Easy dub. He got outscored by almost anybody that touched turf yesterday. Of course, George Pickens, who scored over 18 points. Yeah, take it, man. The ledger's just really getting out of hand in my favor.
Yeah, I'll never make another doink on Drake London as long as I'm doing this podcast. And it's not even Drake London's fault. That's the aggravating thing. It's not even his fault.
Begs, you're
He could do
feeding
the
him.
ball 50 times.
Do you know how the current standings look right now?
I'm not interested. What's our first segment for this week?
I'm interested.
We hop right into Wayne's winners.
Oh, Wayne's interested. Wayne now is 4-1.
Ooh.
I'm in second at 2-2.
Ooh.
And Beggs is in last with a record similar to his fantasy teams, 2-5.
Ooh.
I'm making a lot of off-the-cuff doinks, and now I'm in a position where I have to keep making them to try to recover. It's a horrible spot to be in.
It's the old degenerate hole that you've dug.
It is.
Now you're either
If I
going to
just-
dig that hole deeper or possibly get out, which it rarely works that way.
One more pull on the slot machine, I'll be a millionaire. I guarantee
Please
There
doink
we go.
responsibly. All right, gentlemen, I'll start it off. Wayne's winners. Got 7 of them things, so I'm not gonna harp on them too long. First one, a new guy. We've got a couple new guys in here. Mecole Hardman, 28 points, 2 rushes for 28 yards and 2 tutties. 2 rushes for 2 tutties. Spicy. 4 receptions for 32 yards and a tutty as well. A lot of people lost out. He was only started in 25% of leagues. I don't really blame you because you never know who's going to do the thing for the Chiefs, but Mecole Hardman, 2 rushing touchdowns in that Debo role to the tune of 28 points. Do either of you plan on starting Mecole next week? Because I know I don't.
Nope.
Never.
Yeah, that's one of those, I believe that's a flash in the pan. Next guy, we got my boy, Aaron Jones, 28.6, 8 carries for 23 yards, 9 receptions for 53 yards and 2 touchdowns. That man is doing what I thought he was going to do. Absolutely nothing on the ground and a whole lot of receiving work. He's been here before in my winners, and just like before, it was off the back of a lot of receiving work and, of course, finding pay dirt. And he's just this is exactly what we thought Aaron Jones was going to be. Just essentially another receiver for Aaron Rodgers, a more dependable receiver for Aaron Rodgers. And with Devontae Adams gone, he had to be depended on more.
Beggs, weekly update on your feelings for A.J. Dillon.
We're not allowed to cuss on this podcast, right?
No. We're family oriented.
I don't know that I'd pee on him if he was on fire. Can I say that?
Yep,
That'll do.
Okay.
That'll do.
that's all it needs to be
That
said.
is your weekly A.J. Dillon update, brought to you by Beggs.
All right, our next guy, he's a new one, but mark my words, he'll be here again. Kenneth Walker, 28.8 points, 23 rushes for 168 yards. Efficiency. 23 rushes for 168 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kenneth Walker has been amazing in Rashad Penny's absence. Where do you all value him? If you had to pick running backs, and I'm talking about like from this week on, where do you all put him? Like, where would you rank him?
You know, we did this a week or two ago when Rashad Penny got hurt, and I'm going to stick with it, man. I said he would be, I thought for the rest of the season he'd be a fringe RB1. High-end RB2, fringe RB1, potentially 11, 12, maybe 10, something like that. So after this, it only gives you more hope.
I'm a little more bullish. I'm going to go top 7 rest of season. The way Geno's throwing the ball, teams can't stack the box. At this point, do you take Kenneth Walker or Jonathan Taylor rest of season?
I'd have to see
that's how
Jonathan
good I
Taylor.
think he is.
I have to see what his schedule looks like real quick. Wayne, go ahead.
I believe Kenneth Walker is the RB3 since he took over.
Yeah. I think he's top 7. Pete Carroll loves to run the ball. I mean, outside of Eckler, probably CMC. I mean, who has more upside than Kenneth Walker, honestly?
Who are the 2 people that have outscored
Chubb.
him since he's taken over for Rashad Penny?
Eckler.
Austin Eckler. Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe Nick Chubb.
Nope.
Derrick Henry.
Nope.
No, not Saquon.
No, Saquon.
Josh Jacobs.
Oh,
Josh
yeah.
Jacobs.
Yep.
I mean, to me, he's right there with Josh Jacobs for rest of season, right? I mean, that's probably where he is.
Actually, you know what? Going back on it now, Jonathan Taylor, I forgot. Mad Mob, if you haven't seen it yet, Matt Ryan got benched today. Matt Ryan is benched. Sam Ehlinger will be starting this week's game.
Yikes.
So take that for what you will. I think the entire offense gets a downgrade. Yeah, it's painful. I mean, obviously, you're going to keep beating your head into the wall playing Jonathan Taylor, but I don't know what this does for him.
You really stole
it's
some
why
luster
you-
from me there.
It's why you hate the number 1 pick. You live and die by him.
That's a
And
lot.
you're dying by him this year, JT owners.
Little bit of foreshadowing on the trash bags segment there, Gob. Thanks for that.
Yes, sir.
I'd hate to
Our next
surprise
guy.
any of our listeners.
Gentlemen, we've got two receivers from the Bengals under my winners. We got Tyler Boyd, 29.5, 8 receptions for 155 yards and a touchdown.
Career
Tyler
high.
Boyd.
Career high.
29.5 out of Tyler Boyd, and that was one guy that you're kind of questioning. T. Higgins owners are like, bro. Jamar Chase on the other side of the ball scored 33 points, 8 receptions for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. They're slinging it in Cincy.
And it's only going to get better. Well, it might not get better, but I think it's going to continue. I know Joe Burrow had a pretty, I'll just call it bad. He had a pretty bad start to the season by, what everyone was looking at. But his next game's coming up. He's got Cleveland and Carolina. Then he's got the bye, and then he's got 3 beautiful matchups in Pittsburgh, Tennessee, and KC. I look for him and the receivers to absolutely dominate those games.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. Cincinnati's looking like a fantasy owner's paradise. After that, we've talked on both of these guys. Austin Eckler, we've seen him here multiple times. He's eating this year. He's doing exactly what we thought he was going to do. 35.7 points this week, 9 rushes for 31 yards and a touchdown, 12 receptions for 96 yards and a touchdown. Had a fumble as well. Had a fumble and scored 35.7. 12 receptions.
Sheesh.
PPR machine.
22 catches, 28 targets in the last 2 weeks from a running back. That's just phenomenal. It's something you don't see. And he's widening the gap right now. He is the RB1 by 32 points right now. Can you guys guess who number 2 is currently?
It's got to be Saquon.
It is Saquon. He's up by 32.1 points on Saquon Barkley, the number 2 running back. That, at this point in the season, is phenomenal.
Definitely. And it just goes to show you, I feel like Aaron Jones, if he keeps getting the work, he's going to move up there. Receiving backs are king.
PPR.
Indeed they are.
Our last guy, the last winner, blew through it, like I said. Josh Jacobs dominated this week. 36.5 points. 20 rushes for 143 yards. And not one, not two, 3 tutties. 3 tutties, 3 receptions for 12 yards. 3 tutties.
Yeah,
we got 2 different players in my winners this week that got 3 touchdowns. Offense is a booming this week, gentlemen.
For some, that's for sure. Josh Jacobs carried me in DFS without a doubt. He was phenomenal. Him, Joe Burrow,
Great play.
and
Kenneth Walker.
That's right. Absolutely carrying. So it was a good time. It was definitely a good time.
Yeah, that's it for me, gentlemen. Wayne's winners. Put it in the books.
All right. We'll go look at some Goni's grabs. Got them in here. We've got a few this week. As you know, we're in mid-season form right now, so the waivers are pretty bare. We're looking for stashes. We're looking for guys who might have any kind of value. And it's kind of crazy that this news broke as I was kind of thinking about what I was going to put on here today. Michael Carter was the first one that I had on the list. And that kind of just got blown out of the water because James Robinson is now a New York Jet. He's probably going to take the Breece Hall role. Is that what you guys think? Or do you think this will be a timeshare? I don't really know. We don't know until we see it, you know?
If I had to guess, I'd say he's taking the lion's share.
I say 60-40.
60-40. They'll probably be eased in, so I wouldn't really put too much stock into, what happens in this next game coming up. Either way, I'd probably go ahead and still pick up Michael Carter. He's available in 34% of leagues right now. As we said, Breece Hall's out for the season with an ACL. The Jets are a pretty run-heavy team, and they've been running with some success. He's got a tough schedule coming up in the next 6 games. He's got the Patriots twice. He's got the Bills twice, Chicago and Minnesota. But when the fantasy playoffs roll around, you have Detroit, Jacksonville, and Seattle. So he could be worth a stash. I would put him on there. I wouldn't spend a lot of fab, or I wouldn't burn a number 1 waiver priority by any means on him. But I would try and get him and just see what comes of it and kind of go from there. Deonta Foreman and Chuba Hubbard. Go out, get them. There are other guys as well that you might be able to find. You'll probably be able to find them on your waiver wire. Some people were a little more proactive and tried to grab one of them or both before the CMC trade, just in anticipation. Personally, I would have Deonta Foreman as the priority of the two. And I say that because he led the team in rushing attempts and yardage this week. He was great. I think that he gets at least 15 carries a game going forward. Don't know if he'll have the same success. Chuba punched in a touchdown, so he had a decent fantasy day as well. They have the Falcons next week, which is a pretty good matchup. So that might be a plug and play if you're in a pinch. And right now it looks like it's going to be a timeshare in the post-CMC world.
How do you feel about Chuba, though, considering that he was able to get the role with the CMC injury last year and did nothing with it? Would you rather people go and get Deonta Foreman? Like put a lot more. Where do you value the people in this backfield?
Foreman, as I said, Foreman to me is the priority. He got more carries. I think he'll get more carries going forward. They saw what they got, what they had in Chuba last year. Like you said, they didn't have Foreman on the team last year. I believe he was a Titan, and he came over in free agency. So yeah, I'd drop probably, I don't know, 12%. So $12. I'd probably drop $12, 15
That's
maybe
fair.
tops if you're hurting for a running back. Nothing super crazy. But, a starter's a starter, especially if you get a 1A in a timeshare. You guys, how do you feel?
I agree.
Agree.
Okay. Gus Edwards, available in 57% of leagues. Check your waiver wire. He might be out there. Personally, I would have had him and just kept him on IR. I did that for a good part of the season. He came back from his injury. He got 16 carries, 66 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kenyon Drake, who was, the hot commodity last week, going off for 119, I think it was, he only had 5 yards on 11 carries. So didn't know if Gus Edwards was going to kind of be eased back into it. He already got more carries than Kenyon Drake did, and he performed well. It's a run-heavy team. He's not going to be, the bell cow. It's going to be a timeshare, but right now Edwards is looking like the 1A.
Mm-hmm.
Couple stashes. If you have a spot, these are guys that I would be looking for on the waiver wire. I've got 2 more for the running backs. I'd be looking for them. I don't know if anything's going to come of it, but it's just a guy you stash and you hope for that the opportunity comes along. Kyron Williams for the Rams. Absolute stash guy. The Rams haven't opened up his 21-day practice window from the IR yet, but Sean McVay is saying that they are going to start discussing the matter. So there's going to be some movement on it soon. They have to either put him on the, put him into practice, or he will go back onto IR for the rest of the season. I don't think that's going to happen. In the preseason, he was talked about having a bigger than expected role anyways, and possibly jumping Cam Akers on the depth chart. Well, now Cam Akers is being talked about being traded, stepping away from football. You have all these kind of crazy things going on. And Darrell Henderson just hasn't really been effective. He hasn't been very effective or very good this year. The whole offense hasn't. I think that when Kyron Williams gets back, if he can carve out a role for himself, put some efficiency in there, put some work, I think he's got an opportunity to take some good carries. So he's a guy I would stash and just hope something comes along from him.
That's a good one. I like that one.
And actually, you know what? I'm not even going to say the last one. I'm going to tell you what it is, but it's eliminated because of the James Robinson trade. I was going to say Ty Johnson for the Jets, and that's only because he was going to take the number 2 role. But get rid of that guy. He's garbage. Keep him on the waivers. Wide receivers. Marquise Goodwin for Seattle. He went 4 for 67 and 2 touchdowns. Don't know if you saw in the game, but DK got carted off with a knee injury. Don't know how long it's going to be. Pete Carroll said, luckily, it's the X-rays, MRIs, whatever they do. Didn't look bad. He doesn't need surgery, but we don't know how long he's going to be out for. So Marquise Goodwin will be the next man up in this offense behind Lockett. And with Geno slinging it, there's value there. There's potential. Chase Claypool, another guy that you might think is taken everywhere. He's available in 39% of leagues right now. Check your waivers. He went 5 for 41 in the past game, but he saw 8 targets. He's gotten an uptick in targets in the past 2 weeks, and he kind of seems more involved in the passing game. But honestly, I really like him going forward because his name has been floating around in the trade rumors. So that's just a guy where I'd scoop him up and see what happens leading up to the trade deadline. If this man lands on the Chiefs or the Packers, his value goes up and you have a potential league-winning stud on your hand for the back half of the season. Tyler Boyd, available in 35% of leagues still. As Wayne mentioned, he had a career game, 8, 155, and 1 on 9 targets. The Bengals are opening up the offense. I look at Boyd as a favorable matchup flex play in the upcoming weeks. Mentioned a little bit of the schedule. Cleveland twice, Carolina, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, KC. Check him out. Mecole Hardman might be, a name that'll come up on other podcasts. Don't do it. Just absolutely don't do it. Don't grab him. I'm sure you saw the points he put up. It was 28, but he had 2 rushing touchdowns and a receiving touchdown. The man only got 4 targets. It's a flash in the pan game. Just don't do it. I just wanted to steer you away on that one. And then the last one, I was going to say it was going to be Paris Campbell. I was going to go back to the well on that one because he's seen 23 targets in the last 2 games. But as we said, Matt Ryan just got benched, and so with Ellinger being named the starter, you just have no idea what's going to happen. So I don't know, man. I have no idea on that one. Tight ends, and my last Goni's grab of the week, K-Dot. Again, he's still available in 86%. He put up 10 points this week, and I mean, you could definitely do worse at the tight end position. He's actually done pretty well.
10 points in a very low-scoring, terrible Buccaneers offense.
Yep. And that's all I got. Top into the trash bags.
All right, gentlemen. As usual, we'll start out with a couple of more of the quick hitters. Talk about the Chargers' run defense. Gave up 168 to Kenneth Walker. 200 total on the game. 3 of the last 4 backs against the Chargers have put up 100 burgers, with only the Let's Ride Broncos saving them from making it 4 in a row. Chargers can't stop a nosebleed right now. They get Atlanta, they get the Niners, they get the Chiefs, Cardinals, and Raiders in the next 5. I mean, outside of maybe the Chiefs, I mean, we know Atlanta loves running halfback dives, no matter the score. Shanahan's Niners, Cardinals run the ball more than any other team in the league, and the Raiders.
CMC is going to destroy them, and Josh Jacobs is as well.
I mean, it's pretty pathetic, gentlemen.
We might see a 200-yard game.
If it's going to happen, it's going to happen against the Chargers this year.
That's what I'm saying. We might see and during that stretch, we might see a 200-yard game.
It's weird because they went out and got Khalil Mack, too, so you're like, okay, defense is going to be okay. They're not. Seahawks scored, 37 on them this past week?
Yeah.
Ugly.
The next quick hitter. Let's talk injuries. You know, look, in the era of modern medicine, right? I mean, can we get some super steroids to give these guys to keep their tendons in check, make them stronger? I mean,
it has steroids in it.
You know, like, look, right? Make marijuana legal, Roger Goodell. Make it legal. Let these guys recover on their bodies, right? I mean, the Nazis gave their soldiers super drugs to march 30 miles in the snow. You're telling me 100 years later, we haven't come up with something to just prevent injuries in the NFL? I mean, injuries ruin a fantasy season. It sucks for these guys and their careers. It takes money out of their pockets. Injuries just suck. They have a permanent place in the trash bags. I get it. These guys are bigger, faster, stronger. They're going to get hurt more, I guess. Can't do something to help them out, Wayne?
I wish there was like a rule to where they can use PEDs while recovering from an injury.
Man, DeAndre Hopkins aged negatively after he took PEDs. Why would you? I would give me the 6-game suspension all day, every day.
Will Fuller was about to complete his first full season he's ever had since Pee Wee football because he took PEDs.
PEDs? Absolutely, man. Like, let these guys get juice. Give them the deer antler spray. All of them. Like, subsidize it. Slap the NFL logo on it. Let these guys take whatever they want. Are you kidding me, NFL?
I really do think it should be used in the recovery process. And I know you're like, well, some players don't want to do that. That's fine. Then take a year off if you got to.
Yeah, I mean, look, nobody wants to come to the game where all the star players are hurt. It's like the NBA, right? It's the same problem. All the good players are getting hurt. Nobody wants to come see the backups. Nobody cares.
No one pays for that. No one pays for that.
Did you look at the Denver, the stands in Denver this week with Brett Ripien under center?
They're probably empty.
They were empty, boys. Nobody tailgated that. They rode their way on home after work that day and stayed there. Awful. Number 3, last quick hitter. Let's talk about Mark Andrews, but not just Mark Andrews. We're going to talk about just the game. Mark Andrews had 0.4 fantasy points. I mean, huh? Like, well, Lamar had 9 completions. Huh? It looked like a classic Army-Navy game where everybody was running triple option on the other side of the ball. You knew it was going to be a ground game. It was. You know, I get that, but it was good weather in Baltimore. The game set the NFL back 3 decades. I mean, Wayne, We had 30 completed forward passes in this game.
He looked like Justin Fields out there.
Oh no.
Lamar
He
was
did, man.
9
for 16.
9 for 16, Goni.
I don't know what to say. Mark Andrews personally lost me this week. I need 17. I need 17 points out of Nick Morrow, which, if you're not familiar, it's an IDP league. 17 points out of a linebacker from the Bears, which is unheard of for IDP. I need a touchdown. I need the greatest game of his life to win because Mark Andrews scored nothing.
Nothing. I looked up the numbers. The Browns are an average defense against tight ends, right? I really wanted to stick it in this episode that they're awful against. They're decent against tight ends. 9 completions. Like that's all we could do to scheme open our best player.
Divisional game.
How does it happen? Like, how does this happen?
They won
how does
too.
The best player.
The Ravens won too.
I know. They won with their best player getting 0.4 fantasy points and throwing the forward pass 16 times. Don't understand it. Speaking of forward passing, let's talk about the old nemesis. The old Hatfield and McCoys of the TrashBegs segment. Let's talk about Arthur Smith. You son of a gun. He
Your
threw the
boy.
ball 13 times this week. 13 times. One of those was a 75-yard Demir Bird Hail Mary. Okay, if you take that out, they threw the ball 12 times. 12 times.
Good math.
50 yards. They're running the Wildcat offense out there at this point. It looks like Ronnie Brown under center out there. Arthur Smith, you were losing, bro. You were losing by 3 scores. The Bengals hit you with a 1-2 in the uppercut, bro. Like, you were down on the mat. The ref was counting, and you said, you know what, boys? Let's stick to what got us here. We're going to run a halfback dive every play from this point forward, and maybe we'll break one. You didn't. You got your tail whooped out there. Ask Madden would call a better game than Arthur Smith at this point. Does he even look at the scoreboard going? He's losing the game. I don't understand it. Nobody on this team's fantasy relevant. Nobody on this team is real life relevant. They all could be cut tomorrow, replaced with an XFL roster, and nobody would care.
Is Kyle Pitts one of the biggest disappointments of the year?
Yes. Yes, a million times yes. Absolutely. Kyle Pitts has got to be one of the, it's like probably him. Jonathan Taylor has got to be one, right?
Of course.
There's a handful, but Kyle Pitts for sure is one. He's up there. He's up there, if not the biggest.
Well, what is he supposed to do when you have 12 passing attempts? What
Nothing.
is he supposed
It's
to
not
do?
a reflection on Kyle Pitts at all.
Yeah,
No.
no, I'm not. Yeah, it's not his fault. He's not getting thrown the ball even when they throw 15 times or 20 times or any times for that matter. They just refuse to throw it to him.
It defies logic, right? We knew this game was going to be a blowout. I put all my eggs in the Drake London basket for the last time in the history of this show because I thought, well, if they're down 3 scores, they may have to throw the ball to kind of claw their way back in the game. They don't. They don't have to do any of that.
Why would you throw the ball when you have one of the best running backs that have ever graced turf in Tyler Alligator?
Right. Plus, Beggs, since you made that declaration just now, it's what I'm going to call the Paris Campbell effect. In about 3 or 4 weeks, Drake London's going to have a 12-target game and a 13-target game, and he's going to put up 100 yards and score a touchdown in like each of them. And then you're going to be back on the Drake London train, and then you're going to wish that you fell off again. It's what happens. I refuse to get back on the Paris Campbell train, even though he's crushed it the last 2 weeks, because he's going to hurt me again. That's all.
I'll be there.
see.
I'll be there to boost you up onto the train, and I'll also be there a couple stops down, ready to pull you off.
No. See, there's a difference. Paris Campbell doesn't have Arthur Smith calling the shots. There's
Yeah, but he
no
has
chance.
Matt Ryan throwing the football to him, and he doesn't even have that anymore.
Listen, Frank Reich will at least throw the ball. Arthur Smith, thinks the game should last about 20 minutes, and it should be just running your halfback up your center's butthole the entire game and hoping for 3 yards.
Trying to recreate the butt fumble with the running back.
Shame on them. This next one, it gives me a little bit of joy. Well, we're going to go to Tampa. We're going to go to the Bay. We're going to talk about this Tampa Bay offense, Wayne. Last week, Tommy Brady was on the episode. Now, I'm a Michigan fan. Tommy's my guy. I said he was going down the Brett Favre path. He's one nasty text away from being Brett Favre.
Can I go? We don't have to do this. You're a Michigan guy, so you love Tom Brady. Goni is a Pats fan. He loves Tom Brady. Tom Brady brought a Super Bowl to Tampa. We don't have to do this.
Wayne's like, whoa. Hold on. Wait, whoa.
This doesn't have to happen.
It has to happen. It has to, right? I mean, you look at the offense, threw the ball 50 times for 290 yards. Everybody and their brother. Let's talk about Tommy Brady.
How many touchdowns did he have?
Huh?
How many touchdowns did he have?
He had 0.
Oh, man.
Everybody and their brother. Talking about Tommy Brady coming back with the fire of 1,000 Targaryen dragons this week. Everybody's betting high on Tommy Brady. Now, we all got fleeced. We're all suckers. We got the flaccid Nathan Peterman version of Tom Brady. Giselle has taken the light out of his eyes. He's dead inside. She's taken the money out of his wallet and the talent out of his arm. She's a living monster right now. Tampa Bay is cheeks. Wayne, your season's over with. You're cooked. You're done. Your defense is tired. They're gassed. They need super steroids at the Nazis' hat if they're going to stay on the field one more minute. Your receiving core is trash. Your offensive line, trash.
Did you see Mike Evans drop that easy
Trash.
bomb walk-in touchdown?
He's trash.
Man, his hammy's going to pop like next week.
Tom Brady put sugar in his gas tank after that. Absolutely. Wayne, that Tampa Bay offense is trash.
Is it in the trash bags?
It's all the way in the trash bags.
Oh, man.
It's trash, Wayne. I don't know how you watch it.
How do you score 3 points against the Carolina Panthers?
Against a team that doesn't want to, they don't want to win.
Against a team that's led by an XFL quarterback. Against a team that doesn't have Christian McCaffrey or any other weapons.
Let's just say talent, go. Let's just say they don't have any talent.
Oh, man. Yeah. Against that team.
Are y'all good? Like, are you good? Like, are you both okay?
We're doing a segment here, man.
Tommy Brady, you're still my guy. You're the GOAT. Do better.
Both of them are attacking me like I showed up at their house and backhanded their children.
Nah, it wasn't anything against you, man.
All right. We're gonna wrap it up.
It was personal. That was personal from both of you.
We're gonna wrap it up. We're the last piece of the trash bags. We all belong. We all have a small foot dipped into the trash bags on this. But we're going to talk about veteran quarterbacks who were traded this year. Let's start with Matt Ryan. I thought he'd be a decent quarterback. I thought in a super flex league, if he was your QB2, you'd be fine. You'd be great. You're
wrong.
He's benched, as Goni said. He's benched. He's Dunford and Sons. Matt Ryan will not see another piece of grass this year until an injury happens. Vegas set the over-under at this Titans-Colts line at 41.5. Get in the trash bags, Vegas. You weren't close. You bet on Matt Ryan and you got burned, like all of us.
I don't think I've ever heard that. I told Vegas to get in the trash bags. Vegas is aliens, man.
Vegas set the over-under for Denver's wins at 9.5 as of August 30th. Get in the trash bags, Vegas. You were wrong. Russell Wilson's trash. He's dog water. These teams are paying big money to get below average quarterbacks behind center. They look terrible. Russell Wilson looks corny as ever, just with a lot less talent. Jameis Winston, not Wilson, went to New Orleans, compressed his C6. He can't walk anymore. He's on crutches and in a wheelchair half the time. Carson Wentz came out hot like a bottle rocket. smashed his pinky digit into a Bears helmet in the game of the century. He's done. Mitch Trubisky, he's going to be a special assistant to the special teams coach in the XFL next week. I mean, these big name splashings, none of them panned out, boys. It's a whole bunch of hot, flaming dog turds out there on the field. We need talent at the quarterback position.
Yeah, everyone probably thought they were pulling a Rams of last year, bringing in a veteran quarterback, and this is going to be the savior of the franchise, and it just really hasn't worked out.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You probably take Matt Ryan over a Tommy Brady this year.
Nah, I don't think I would.
I mean, you probably take a Jameis over a Tommy Brady this year.
For fantasy or for real life?
Bite your tongue.
At least
bite your
I know
tongue.
Tom Brady. I know Tom Brady at least has the ability to win games in the fourth quarter. Matt Ryan has proven he cannot. Jameis Winston's just never even in it.
Call me crazy, but Matt Ryan's won as many games as Tommy Brady, and I'm pretty sure 2 of the 3 were comeback victories. Give me Matt Ryan over Tommy Brady.
How about that one time?
Listen, what needs to happen is Kyle Trask needs to get in. He needs to get in there, right, Wayne? Give old Trask a shot.
Will you? Okay. There is not a coach that exists on this earth that is going to tell Tom Brady to have a seat on the bench. Ain't nobody doing that. The second he does that, Tom Brady ain't going to have a seat on the bench. He's going to go ahead and pull an Antonio Brown, take his shirt off, wave it around the air, and call it a career.
And make sure he breaks. He's going to break every tablet on his way out on both sidelines.
There's a lot of things that there's a few things I live by. I don't evade taxes. I don't keep up with the Kardashians, and I would never bench Tom Brady.
Good keys to living a healthy life. I mean, look, that's the problem with Tampa. That's why you're 3-4. There's nobody's got any stones down there on the sidelines. I mean, Tommy Brady's he's cursing out the offensive line every play. Is it their fault? He got sacked once against Carolina.
Pressures.
He doesn't take sacks. He gets rid of that thing.
It's not that. Well, look, man, it's a lot of ugly quarterback play, and I'm tired of watching it from guys that the NFL is telling me they're superstars, Super Bowl appearances, this and that. These guys suck. They're old and they're terrible, and I'm tired of watching it. And that's all I got to say.
Good,
all right.
dude. It was nothing but a personal attack on me for the last 5 minutes of your segment.
And Arthur Smith. Yeah.
Arthur Smith is Beggs' mortal enemy.
Yeah, he cost me a couple doinks, a couple Drake London doinks. I'm not too happy about that.
Man.
Just take responsibility for making stupid doinks. You knew who was calling the plays.
Well, you're right. You're right.
Beggs, who has more catches this week, Drake London or the Atlanta Falcons ball boy?
I'd probably take the ball boy at this point, Gojaman.
Fair enough. I just wanted to set the line and see what.
Well, there's only 5 incompletions. We only threw the ball 13 times. But
that's not a very good percentage.
No, it's not. 8 completions. Him and Lamar combined for 17. Huh?
This is football.
I mean, is the league going back to that? Like, is it all about the ground game? Like, are we tired of seeing high-scoring games and points on the board? I mean, Wayne, what do you want to see? Do you want to see the old Packers sweep come back? The old Lombardi Ice Bowl? Let's bring fullbacks back into the game. Is that what you want to see?
The Pro Football Hall of Fame Instagram shared a picture of just an old game, looked like it was back in the 60s, maybe 70s, of Bears, Packers, and the mud and snow, and the caption was the way football was meant to be watched. And if you look at the scoreboard in the back, it's in the end of the third quarter, and it's 3-0. And everybody in the comments are like, nobody wants to watch a 3-0 game.
No one ever. No one ever.
This might be a better. I know we're wrapping down here, but this might be a better intro. So stop me if it is. But I read a convincing article one time that said slap the leather helmets back on these guys and you'll see less head injuries because people won't lead, into tackles with their helmets. They won't lower their head as ball carriers anymore.
There's a lot less head injuries in rugby.
He's not wrong, Goni. You're shaking your head, but he's right.
I mean, Bart Starr didn't know what was like where he was, man. He wore the leather helmets and my man got just it's not good for you. It's not good for your health.
Junior Seau wore a lid.
People have died playing football back in the day. B, that there's just some dude, like we've seen it as strength coaches that just go up to somebody with a helmet on and butt their bare head against it. There's some psychopaths playing football that don't care if there's a helmet on them. They're going to go ahead and just try and go skull to skull. May the hardest head win.
I mean, Vontez Burfict definitely would skull bash somebody, right?
Yeah, leather helmets, somebody's dying.
I would have liked to see, like, in their prime, if we had, like, brought back a celebrity death match, Vontez Burfict versus Lawrence Taylor in a head-to-head skull-bashing competition.
That's the only way they could win. They were in a straitjacket. They were both fighting in a straitjacket.
Yeah, dude. I was thinking like the arm wrestling tournaments where you have to hold like the two like sticks out in front of you and you just ram your head into each other.
You stick them in a phone booth in straitjackets.
Just let the head
last person standing wins.
Yeah, somebody's nose is getting bit off 100%. All right, man. Sorry to derail it.
That's fine. If there was ever a time I wanted to derail, it was that time. Mad Mob. We'll see you Thursday. There might be some changes. Coming to the Mad Fantasy Football Podcast as far as the content goes. We're in discussions with our producers and our sponsors on how to handle content going forward. We're a podcast for the people. We're trying to do what the people want. Stay tuned. Might be changes. I'm excited. Boys.
Changes for MVP?
Yes.
Yes.
Not Buccaneers for MVP.
Tom Brady turning around a franchise mid-season.
Wow.
To Super Bowl contenders.
Oh,
Psych.
For his second Super Bowl in 3 years. In Tampa.
It'll never happen.
Go Bucks.
Body.
Cowboys suck. For MVP.